Hello friends, today we will read about femoral triangle. Femoral triangle can come in our exam as a short note, and it may also come under a long question as a sub part. So let's see. Femoral triangle. We know that femoral triangle is a triangular depression. This is the femoral triangle, and it is a triangular depression on the front of the upper one third of the thigh. This is our thigh, and femoral triangle is present on the front of the upper one third. When the thigh is divided into three parts, the upper one third part will be occupied by the femoral triangle. Then let's see the boundaries. The boundaries of femoral triangle. The femoral triangle is laterally bounded by the medial border of sartorius muscle. This is the sartorius muscle. It is its lateral border and it is the medial border. So the femoral triangle is laterally. It is the medial side of the thigh and this one is the lateral side of the thigh. And our femoral triangle is bounded laterally by the medial border of the sartorius muscle. Medial border of the sartorius muscle. And the medial boundary of the femoral triangle is the medial boundary of the adductor longus muscle. This one is the adductor longus muscle. This one is the pectineus muscle, tendon of psoas major muscle, and this is the iliacus muscle. And it is the inguinal ligament which extend from the anterior superior iliac spine to the tendon between this one. So the medial border is medial border of the adductor longus, and the lateral boundary is formed by the medial border of the sartorius muscle. Then the apex. The apex is downward and the base is upward, and the apex is formed by the point where the medial and lateral boundaries cross. Medial boundary and the lateral boundary cross at the apex, and this one is the what? This one is the base. Then after the nerves, it have also the lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. Lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh and the deep inguinal lymph nodes. And now let's see the roof and the floor of the femoral triangle. The roof of the femoral triangle is formed by skin, superficial fossa, then deep fossa. We all know that whenever we read the roof of any structure, first comes the skin. This one is common. Then superficial fossa. The superficial fossa of the femoral triangle contains some structures. What are the structures? Let's see. The superficial fossa containing the superficial inguinal lymph node. The superficial inguinal lymph node. Then femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. Then comes a branch. It is the branches of ilioinguinal nerve. then superficial branch of the femoral artery. Superficial branch of the femoral artery. And it have vein, saphenous vein also. The upper part of the saphenous vein. Upper part of the great saphenous vein. Great saphenous vein. The superficial inguinal lymph node. The femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. Branches of the ilioinguinal nerve. Superficial branch of femoral artery. And upper part of great saphenous vein. So how to remember this? It have a lymph node and genitofemoral nerve, ilioinguinal nerve, two nerve, one artery and one lymph node and one vein, upper part of the great saphenous vein. Then the floor of the femoral triangle. To know more about the floor of the femoral triangle, we will look at this picture. Here it is the femoral triangle. I will highlight the triangle. It is the femoral triangle. Then it is a muscle. It is known as sartorius. It is the longest muscle. Then it is the iliacus muscle. Iliacus muscle. This one is psoas major, and this one is pectineus, and this one is adductor longus. But which muscles form the floor? These sartorius doesn't come in the floor of the femoral triangle. It forms the boundaries but doesn't belong to the floor. The floor is formed by only iliacus, psoas major, pectineus and adductor longus. Then come to the contents of the femoral triangle. The contents. The femoral triangle contains femoral artery and its branches. Femoral artery. Femoral. To know more about femoral artery, we can write that femoral artery and its branches. Branches means 3 superficial and 3 deep branches. And we all know that the femoral artery transfers the femoral triangle from its base to the mid-inguinal point to the apex. And in the triangle it gives 6 branches, that is 3 superficial and 3 deep branches. Then this is the first one. Then the femoral vein. Femoral vein. Femoral artery have its branches, so the femoral vein have its tributaries, tributaries. The femoral artery, the femoral vein always accompanies the femoral artery, and we will later know which one is medial and which one is lateral, the femoral artery and the femoral vein. Then third one is the femoral sheath. Femoral sheath. Femoral sheath. What is femoral sheath? It is a funnel shaped sleeve, which encloses the femoral vessels, the femoral vessels, which were 3 to 4 centimeter. Upper 3 to 4 centimeter of the femoral vessels are covered by the femoral sheath. So, it femoral sheath also comes under the contents of the femoral triangle. Then the nerves. Femoral triangle have nerves. Which nerves? The femoral nerve, which lies lateral to artery, outside the femoral sheath. Outside the femoral sheath, but in the groove between the iliacus and psoas major muscle. It will be described later on. Then the nerve to pectineus. And second nerve is the nerve to pectineus muscle. Pectineus muscle, where we have learned about this? Pectineus muscle comes in the floor of the femoral triangle. Remember? Then it is also another nerve, genitofemoral nerve. Genitofemoral, but its femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve. This much comes under the